recap, I'm 31. I got two kids, Australian born. I graduated in 2015 from SA Institute with in graphic design, so Bachelor of Graphic Design. I worked with different, clients, and yeah, taught 100,000 students on Skillshare, Udemy, over YouTube, all that stuff. And yeah, I've done over 900 videos on YouTube. So there's a lot of
Wow,
tutorials.
man, that's
Yeah,
heaps.
I know. I realized the other day, I'm like, this is a lot. But yeah, and I've done lots of posts on Instagram. But that's just a bit about me. I'll be sharing a bit about the logo design fundamentals, styles, a bit of my logo process. I'll show examples of real client work and where I get my inspiration from. So if you're a big beginner, just sit back and relax. If you have any questions, let me know. Happy to just share my thoughts. So yeah, a bit about my journey. As I just said, started teaching and doing YouTube in 2016. Graduated from SAE in 2015. Here's some of my early work, some early logo designs back in the day. Some of it's client work, some of it's just like playing around. So you can see not the best stuff, but hey, we all start somewhere. And the main thing I want to encourage is just like practice. You got to practice. It's a long journey to get really good at your craft. So it takes many years of just doing concept projects and client work and working for friends and stuff. So don't
Yeah,
feel the
I was going to
pressure.
say it's a lot better than my undergraduate portfolio, which has been burned in a fire. It does no longer exist.
You got rid of it.
Yeah,
Love that's
definitely.
funny, man. Yeah. But always very critical of our own work, eh?
Mm.
So logo design foundations. So love this quote from Marty Newmeyer. He wrote the book, The Brand Flip and The Brand Gap. You've probably seen him on podcasts, but he says a brand is a person's gut feeling about a product, service, or organization. So yeah, branding is all about a feeling. And so when we create a logo is just one piece of that puzzle. It's the first impression, right? We want to create that we want to instill that image in the mind when you create a logo. So that's why we need to create something bold and distinct, and something that really catches someone's eye because we want to make sure that it's easy to remember. And that's one of the key things when it comes to a logo. It's only the tip of the iceberg, and
Mm.
behind that is all these other things. So when you see a big logo redesign, you might think, oh, it looks bad, but you weren't thinking about the customers and the strategy and the messaging and the brand's goals because there's always the strategy and the marketing and the values and all that behind the scenes. And that's what really fuels the reason why you design a logo a certain way.
Mm. That's nice. I like that. I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, it's a simple graphic to help you remember. It's like logo is just a small part, but it's not the full brand. It's just part of a brand.
Mm.
I like to personally make sure the logo is appropriate, distinctive, simple, and versatile. So you want to make sure that it's not, doesn't have any sexual imagery, or that make sure that it's right for the right audience. Make sure that it's distinct so it doesn't look too similar to competitors. Because sometimes you design something and you realize it's been done like 50 other times. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's good to check online. And then simple, just make sure that's easy to remember in like 2 seconds when someone sees it. And then versatile, meaning make sure it works for digital and print and basically anywhere. If it's a sticker or a billboard, make sure that it's able to be recognizable, really.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to a logo, it really sits in the visual identity category. And brand identity is more of the brand personality, messaging, strategy, the user personas, and goals. And so a visual identity is a logo is part of that process where it's all about the shapes, fonts, colors, patterns, and you're designing the visual of the brand. And the brand identity is more of the discovery strategy part of it. So it's good to just separate those two. Sometimes people mix it together, but yeah, I like to show the two separate parts of it.
Yeah. Nice.
Some of my favorite logo books to buy is you got Brand Identity Design by Alina Wheeler. I got heaps of them on my shelf behind me, but you got Identity Design by David Ery is really good. How To by Michael Beirut, Book of Branding. You've also got Branding in 5.5 Steps by Michael Johnson, Logo Design Love, and How to Design a Logo by Hadil Ahmed. If you're really just starting out and you're someone that really likes digging into books, I think it's a great source of inspiration because they show like real client work and they're like the old work and new work and stuff. So you get really
Yeah.
inspiration instead of like going online all the time. Because being on the computer sometimes it's just like doesn't stick as much. Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. And this is, some of this stuff was done sort of literally by hand as well. So there's just like such an extra level of craft. I love the two David Ery ones that have made it in there and the Michael Beirut. It's so funny because I got all my design books behind me now.
Yeah, I know. I love it, man. It's so good. Beautiful colored stack there.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's about a third of what I have. There's a bunch of others, and I had to keep culling it because I was living in apartments all the time. Now I've got a
Okay.
space. I want to build it out again. So yeah,
Amazing.
maybe I'll
So
pick
good.
one from this list I haven't seen before.
Yeah, amazing, bro. Awesome. Cool. So when it comes to like choosing a logo, it's like, what do we choose? There's so many different types out there. So I'll just cover some of the types, some of my favorites. But first, you want to make sure that you're designing a great logo, not a bad one. So I love showing this comparison. You got bad logos on the left and great on the side the side. And I want you to pay attention to what makes them the ones on the right great. As you can see, it's simple, it's clean, it's only got a few colors, easy to recognize, and it's something that works on a global scale so people can understand it. And even in the FedEx one, you got the little arrow that we all know. I think that's a great one. But on the left hand side, it's really hard to understand what it is, what they like, what it represents. There's too many graphics going on. There's too many inappropriate imagery that looks, that one looks like a bottom there. The fonts look bad. So it's just this is a bad example there on the left.
Mhm.
Um, but just a reminder that when we start designing logos, we're probably not going to be that good because I wasn't that good when I started. I was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But eventually you get better and better with practice. So just a thought to keep in mind. Now, some of my favorite logo styles is badge emblem. Now, these can be symbols, seals, crests. Few examples here. You've got Stella, you got Harvey Davidson, you got Starbucks. These are really great shapes, nested shapes, badge styles that are really fun. Perfect for like retro vintage brands or heritage brands. Been for a very long time, hundreds of years. And just some use cases, if you want more storytelling, more unique shapes, silhouette, um, more aesthetic appeal. I always think, yeah, brand equity, tradition, authority. Um, so if you're working with like maybe a wine cellar brand or a farm, it's been going for generations, um, or maybe just a product that's been going for very long, then consider having a badge style. Combination mark, this is basically, it can be an icon and a word mark together or a pictorial mark. It's basically combining two. So you've got, for example, with Lacoste, you got that crocodile and then a nice uppercase font there. Then Spotify has this sort of audio waveform, little icon within a circle, and you've got the text. And then Adidas has these three stripes. So this
Mm.
is sort of a combination mark. It doesn't mean they don't have they usually have the icon by itself and the text by itself, and that's typically what I do as well when I design. I always want to separate and have a lot of different logos to use as tools because a logo is a tool, right? And you want to have a suite.
Yeah.
Use cases with this one, it's modern, it's more popular, it's functional, brand recognition, and it can convey complex ideas.
Yeah, and
So,
you can use those different assets in so many different ways, right? Like today, we
yep,
need to, you need your social media stuff, you need website stuff, you might want apparel, you might want stickers, like as you said before, you might
yep,
want something sewn, like the Costa thing. All I think of is it being sewn really
yep.
tiny at the top of a
On a
golf shirt
shirt,
or in a
yep,
shoe or something, and
yep,
has to work at scale and be instantly recognizable, but they can be separate but together. Yeah,
yep.
it's cool.
100%, 100%. Those are the things that we've got to think about. Another style is logo type or word mark. So this is more typographic based. So for example, Twitch, Logitech, and Disney. Disney is more of a lettered style, but you got Logitech and Twitch are more customized fonts. So Twitch has like a drop shadow, a black drop shadow, and it's more of a geometric font. And then Logitech has more of like a humanist or grotesque, clean font, grotesque font. Um, with the round circles there, and then it's like a nice little thing on the G. So yeah, it's pretty easy to do these type of logos. If you pick a nice font to start off with, then just like explore and stuff.
Do you know
And
the story behind? I'm putting you on the spot here. Do you know the story behind the Logitech font? Is it meant to be a smile or is it meant to be like a mouse or something like that? Do you know the story? Because I don't.
yeah, I can't remember. I think it was meant to be like a face, like a
Yeah,
smile.
it's kind of
Uh,
like a smile without being Amazon, right? Like it's
yeah,
pretty techie
exactly.
version. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a techie
yeah,
version smile with like a eye there. But
yeah,
yeah, that's what I feel like it represents.
yeah. Me too. I'm taking a swing. I don't know. That's some homework for me. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, these are really great for like if you have like long names, or it's a company just starting out. it can be really timeless. So if Disney one, it's been around for a long time. So there's always room for creativity when it comes to typography, connecting letters, ligatures, stuff like that. And then we've got monogram. Monogram is when you connect two letters together. So Chanel, Louis Vuitton, WB. You can see how they're interconnected or overlapping. Yeah, this is really good for brands that want to feel premium. It's more simple, easy to recognize. It's distinct. It represents elegance as well. It's cross-cultural as well when you have just simple letters. But if you have like a long acronym, like 4 letters, sometimes it gets a bit messy. People don't remember like what it stands for.
Right. Yeah. 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 Makes
So that's
sense.
why longer names usually do a monogram. So it's like if it's like a 3, 4 letter like brand name, it's good to do like a monogram. Um, yeah. And then we've got geometric, abstract, which is one of my favorites. It's more futuristic, modern, simple, clean. So here's like some examples. You can go with lines, you can go with blocks, you can go with just like animal style shapes. You can do connecting shapes. More abstract, more just to be distinct and recognizable. A lot of AI companies usually do this. They do like a star or they do, a shape. So yeah, squares, circles, triangles. It's easy to create repetitive type of shapes, like make it look unique. It's good for tech brands, bold, it's iconic, and you get balance and symmetry when you do this style. And it's
Mm.
yeah, it's just really simple. It's easy to do. And so yeah, those are some of the popular styles. My suggestion to improve like getting better with like designing different styles and logos, just practice a lot on fake projects. So what I used to do is like sometimes I'll do like food products like a coffee shop, which maybe is a more lettered, nice font, and then I try like a AI tech brand, which is more like pixel style with like a nice icon. So just practice. With each project, you're just going to learn. So with each client project, I get better and better over time. Get good with Adobe Illustrator. That's my suggestion, or whatever tool you're using at the moment. I personally use Adobe products because that's the best. You got study big brand logos. That's good to learn and get feedback from other designers as well. And then you can check out
Mm.
sites like Brand New, is really good. So that's just some quick advice. And now we're going to jump into a bit of my process, and hopefully this is insightful. So step one, this is how I usually take my clients when it's like a client project. So we've got strategy and discovery phase. After the initial call, someone might email me or message me on Instagram, say, "Hey, I want to do a brand project." You usually jump on a call, or we just agree on text, and then we go into a strategy phase where I have like a framework in Illustrator. I take them through. I ask them lots of different questions, and then once we do that, we go through research, where I research brands, competitors, go online, look at different logos, get some ideas. Then I take them through some mood boards. Typically, I do about 2 to 3. Then we pick a direction based on that mood board. So we'll have colors, fonts, patterns, mock-ups on there, just to get an idea of a vibe, an idea. And then I usually present that, and sometimes I do a revision on the mood board, sometimes I don't. Once we've picked a direction, we go into logo design phase, which I usually do 2 directions. Sometimes I might do more, just depends. And then I do the colors, the fonts, so brand colors. I usually pick around, 3 to 5 colors, sometimes more. Then I work on like maybe doing a pattern, creating some imagery. And then once I sort of create the main design concept, then I'll go into mockups and then presenting. And then once I present, we go into revision phase. So, and then approvals. Once the client approves everything, go into production, and then file handoff. I package everything together and send it over Dropbox to the client. And so yeah, that's a bit of my process.
Nice. Great.
And some
And I suppose most of this is probably digital too, right? Like I know,
yeah,
like when we were, when you kind of go to design school, it's all about standing in front of the client and being in a boardroom and all that sort of stuff. It's just not the reality these days. Like
nah,
especially when you're freelancing, you're going to have clients from all around the world, presumably. Why would
mm,
you limit yourself just to people, locally? So I imagine most
100%.
of your clients are overseas. They're probably American clients and things. I know you get a lot of tech companies and AI companies coming to you.
Yeah, I get a lot of US companies, but also Aussies as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I recently got an NDIS brand, and then I'm working with another guy at the moment. He's a photographer, videographer.
Yeah.
So I do get Aussies as well. Um, but yeah, I just what I do is I use OBS, or you can use something like Loom, do a recording. I can upload it to Dropbox. or if you use Loom or Screen Studio, what if you're on a Mac, and then just I record myself going through the presentation, sharing my thoughts, and just send them a video. That's typically how I present. I don't do
Mm.
live calls. It's just too finicky and stuff. It's just better to do it so everyone can just look at the work in their own time when they're
Yeah.
free. And
Yeah. It's a
then
cool approach. I like that. Yeah.
yeah, another tip as well. A lot of the clients now we just put them on WhatsApp in a WhatsApp group and we just chat. And sometimes I just send my work in there, my
Wow.
presentation.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people are just using that now because they're more comfortable instead of using email. It's a bit more slower. So
Yeah, true. That's super interesting. Wow, I wouldn't have never have thought that. It's like my kindergarten, like year one, like group chat, like it turned
yeah,
into like a presentation mode.
yeah,
That's super interesting. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I
times
think it's not.
change.
Times has changed, man. So so yeah, and the first thing, so back to the strategy thing. So what I like to do is we work on like the brief, the brand personality, the audience. I want to understand who's the customer, who we're designing for, the tone, the vibe, the competitors, and look at the big picture. And so I want to encourage you to be a strategic thinker. Some of the questions I ask when I'm doing a logo is like, what do you think about your current logo? If they have one, if it's a fresh design, then you'll have to do research, like ask some other questions, like why do you need a new logo? What are three keywords that describe the feeling you want to evoke? Who is your ideal customer? What is the vision for the business like in the next 5 years? Like, do they want to scale? Do they want to stay freelance, small business? Like, do they want to franchise? You got to think ahead. Who are your main competitors, the outliers, and also the ones that are close? And then, like, if everything can be distilled into one idea of the logo, what would it be? And then I usually ask like if they already have inspiration, maybe they might already have a mood board or brands they love, or brands they hate. That's another question as well to get sort of a feels out. Just keep in mind that your clients don't have the same taste as you. They have different tastes to us, and as a designer, we're in the design bubble and the AI bubble, whereas clients are not. So yeah, then it's going to be different what you put out. So it's just good to get alignment. It's all about getting alignment, get on the same page. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
so true. Yeah, I love the like competitors, but then like I think without, can you explain what you mean by outliers, just really quick?
Yeah, so some competitors might not have the same offering.
Mm.
That They'll be a more distant offering to what they have, and then there's other businesses that will have the exact same offering. They just have a different brand, like visual identity, different messaging, and they might be going for a different like target audience.
Yeah,
But an outlier is more further out. It's not the same offering, a bit different. So yeah, that's what I mean.
cool. Like that.
One of the frameworks that I do, or like little workshopping things you could do in your that discovery phase, is the look and feel matrix. So this is just like a slider where I take my clients and I usually like drag them. I'll ask them, hey, so is the brand more feminine or masculine? Is it bold? Is it more refined, traditional, modern, whatever? And then I move the sliders. And so usually on that live call in the discovery phase, this is really good to get an idea of the visual representation of the brand. So you can copy this, you can use this, and it just helps when you're pitching the brand directions later on.
Mm, that's cool.
So covering the research phase, I love using sites like Cosmos, Dribble, and Behance. They're probably my top three. I do go on other sites. If I'm looking up for websites, I'll go on Landbook. Um, what else? Sometimes I don't really go on Pinterest anymore. I don't really use Google. I usually go on like Brand Archive or Brand News, is a good one. And I'll search like keywords like brand identity or logo design, or if I'm looking up a monogram, I'll type SM monogram or whatever it is. Or like if I want a vintage brand, I'll type in vintage brand identity. Or if I want an elegant brand, I'll say like high end luxury premium gold foil or something like that. So learning how to type the right keywords, scrolling on these sites, and then I'll just screenshot stuff and drop it into my canvas on Adobe Illustrator. And that helps me start building out things for the mood board, which is the next part. Um, these are some style scapes I did for a client a few years back for a blinds security company. So you can see I went for three different directions: one more friendly, vibrant; one more masculine, modern, serious; and then one more minimal, friendly, modern, affordable. So three different logos. You can see I even created logos before the logo phase because I just wanted to create some quick ideas that I had in my head and just show the different colors. And so this is one way I like to do the mood board phase, or stylescapes. I have free tutorials on my YouTube you can check out.
Mm,
But it's basically a collage of the ideal client, and then colors, some font choices, some screenshots I took of mock-ups and some logos, business cards, icons, maybe some layouts, as you can see, sometimes websites. And so this is a great way to build out mood boards. Here's another brand I did. I did 3 mood boards for them. It was Keystone Media. They're an agency that they help create content for brokers in the US. So this is more high-end luxe type vibe. So you've got sort of this green gold on the left, and then in the middle we've got minimalist, and then on the right we've got more feminine, elegant cream colors. And then I found some nice key logos that I put there. I created a quick like lock up with like the text, put some icons on there to go. And so there was 3 different directions, and I usually like to create 3 different names for the mood boards. If you can't come up with names or like text to describe what you're looking at, you just use like GPT or something to help you have a little bit of text to put next in that slide you present.
Yeah, we used to use Lorem Ipsum, but you can just you can
Yeah,
use ChatGPT now.
exactly.
Which of those 3 do you have a favorite, and do you often have favorites when you're
Yeah,
presenting 3?
yeah, I always gravitate towards like the masculine, dark, bold colors, minimalistic, or like the greens and golds. I do have a lot of brands that I've worked with that are green and gold. I don't know, just in my mind, it's always like elegant. Um, yeah, I try not to go too feminine, because if I present it in like I don't know, it's just not me. It's just not me. I'm more masculine, bold type of clean. Because whatever you present as well later on, you got to think about it can affect like what more work you get in as well. But obviously depends on the client as well. So yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So here is a screenshot of an exploration round 1 for that Keystone brand that I just showed that mood board. You can see there's a lot of exploring. I found some keys online and through my research, and then I was like playing around with shapes, customizing it, creating my own keys. I was exploring like K letters. Had some type exploration with the tagline brokers into brands that I created. And yeah, it's very messy. That's the process, really. Like just playing around with shapes, thinking of ideas. Should I do a letter mark? Should it be just an icon? What font should I pick? Should I pick a more fun font, or maybe this is too premium? Maybe I should tone it down a bit. So a lot of things, and just duplicating and iterating. So just copy paste, hold Alt Shift, and just iterate until you have something that you like. And then here was some more exploration. Started creating patterns. As you go towards the right, you can see I created some more logos, key icons, different versions. I put like a little house silhouette inside the key. That was cool. But yeah, so we always go round 1, and then we revise, do round 2. Sometimes we do round 3, but I usually limit to 2, 3 max, because then the project just drags on too long. So
Yeah, and is that something that you have like in a contract or in an email at the start? You sort of say,
yeah,
here are the milestones. Here's where you get input. Anything more than that we can do, but there's an additional cost, that kind of thing.
yeah, definitely. Just send a PDF, and then you get them to sign it with you can use Adobe PDF to sign the contract. So I have a template that you can purchase, but yeah, that's what I typically do. So in the clause, it will say any more than 2 or whatever. If it's 3, whatever you agree on, it'll cost extra hourly or whatever it is, project based fee. So
Yeah, cool.
yeah, or sometimes you'll end up in revision hell where you're up to your 10th revision and the client's not happy, and then you're just like, why am I doing this?
All my jobs for mates end up that way somehow.
Yeah. For mates, yeah, they're very specific. But it's all right. It happens to everyone. And then yeah, you create some mock-ups. So here are just 3 examples. I love using Photoshop. You can also use Adobe Firefly or other AI tools like Nano Banana inside Photoshop now, which is really cool. So you can create visual mock-ups of the logo. And then I go for a presentation. So this is a presentation of 2 logo directions. As you can see, lay it out. We recap on the mood board, and then the brand personality. If it's just a logo project, we don't go too deep into the strategy and stuff, then sometimes I won't present that. Other brand projects are bigger where I break down everything, and then I present the logo direction 1, then direction 2, show the typography, colors, mock-ups, as you can see here. And I'm going to show you a live example in a minute. And then we go into creating some guidelines, as you can see. I love creating a one page style sheet, and then we have a longer one where I do an
Mm.
Illustrator.
That's cool.
And
So you just got like a bit of a cheat sheet. So it's like, hey, if you just need one thing, this is the thing. But
exactly.
we go into detail over here. Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes it quick access. They can just quickly look at it. Maybe they need a color hex code, or they just need to
Mm.
double check on which one's the main logo. They just look at it like, oh, okay, cool, or the font, and then yeah. But the real brand guides will break down everything, the icons, text styles, and all that stuff. So
Cool.
yeah, and then once everything's all approved and everything, we go into packaging. So we package the files up. So you have the brand. This is how I do my file structure really. So
Oh,
discovery logo fonts.
this is the good stuff. Like if you're honestly, like if you're getting into it, this is always such an important part of the process. Like, and also being able to have a beginning and an end, right? Like having a place where everything lives, having it clearly labeled. I bet that you have a template that you duplicate or you have
Yeah,
ready
yeah,
for
just a
each
folder structure.
project.
Yeah,
Follow the
exactly.
structure. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, just end up with days of work trying to gather everything around and find the
It gets
right
messy.
things and relinking files and packaging things up. So yeah, this is really cool. I always find this really, really interesting. I need one of these for videographers, by the way. So if there's anyone out there, send me a screenshot of this because it's doing my head in.
Yeah, yeah. It can get messy real fast. So I like to
Yeah.
try and keep it neat and just duplicate. So yeah, you got, for example, logo, then I have a digital folder and then print. And then so digital will have SVGs and PNG. So SVG will be for websites. And then PNG is like a backup file. And then print EPS. Or a PDF is usually what printers use when they're printing the logo and whatever. And then I'll have like full color, one color. So black, white. And sometimes I do grayscale. I usually use a logo plugin called Logo Package Express that will export everything really fast for me. So I've been using that for many years, and that helps. So, and then you break down the logo into main logo, the logo mark. Then if it's like just the text only version, combination version, whatever it is. So that's how I typically do
Yeah.
it.
That's
Drop it into
that's awesome. Like I said, that's the screenshot, everyone. We just had a quick question from chat, so we'll just ask the questions as
sure.
they roll along, if that's cool. So this question asks in YouTube, what helps you narrow down a final design from dozens of prototypes?
Basically, I go with my gut feeling eventually. So, and then I look back at the ideal customer, and it's like, and the brand keywords that we talked about with the client. And it's like, does this feel right? Does it fit the brief? Does it fit the client and the feel we're going for? Um, and then usually like I'll know, okay, this feels right. And then when it feels right, I present to the client, and then the client might not like agree. Sometimes they're like, love it, boom, it's great, it's perfect. Other times they're like, oh, something's not right. It might be the font or the color or something. And then I collaborate with the client and say, okay, let's maybe do a revision and like pull it back a bit or change it. So that's how I usually know. Yeah, you're not going to get it perfect every time. So it's
Yeah,
a process.
that's cool. And yeah,
Trial
you might be right, right? And but
process of
then the client actually
elimination.
sees it and they're like, "Oh, you nailed the brief," but actually now that we're seeing it, this other thought comes to their head. So
Yep.
yeah, being able to adapt.
Exactly. Or sometimes you start looking at the logo and you realize, oh wait, that looks like something different, like a foot or whatever,
Right.
or that looks
Yeah.
like the wrong letter. And this, so you're like, oh wait, yeah, I got to change it. So it's a process of elimination. That's why you just do a lot of designs, a lot of, some bad, some good, and then you just eliminate the bad ones and then keep the best ones. So that's what I
Yeah.
do.
And just very quickly, because we have another question, we'll just roll again.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, Dino Rex, cool name, asks, how many revisions do you typically include in a contract for branding work? How
Yeah,
many
you?
revisions?
Yeah, I always do two revisions.
Mm,
Sometimes I'm lenient and I do three. But yeah, usually I nail the project within two. So yeah,
cool. Bang.
cool, amazing. All
Lovely.
right, so yeah, any other questions?
That's it for now. But if you've got any more, throw them in chat. And if we've got time, we'll ask them for sure. There's two great questions, by the way.
Yeah, perfect. All right, here's some recent projects I did. So this one's an NDIS project. I will show you this, like my process of how I designed came up to this logo. But this one is a NDIS brand, but it's a more of a disruptive, bold, um, not your typical NDIS brand because they're building a Olympic facility where they
Oh,
can be able to like play certain sports and swimming and all these activities that you can't do some like other places. So this is pretty cool. So here's some of the design, creative posters, business cards, um, website guidelines, logo. Did some flyers, brochures. Here's another one for We Grow Gym. So this one was more professional, bold, modern, clean. Um, came up with like the tagline as well. You build muscle, we build gyms. So this is more of a business growth firm where they help you scale. So yeah, this is all about growth moving forward. So we had like a nice G, and then in the G, I put the arrow for upward movement
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
growth. Very simple, but it works and kept it geometric and solid. So that square makes it feel like solid, credible, and went with the blue gray sort of tones here.
Nice.
This one was Check My Premium. Just don't read the title there. This is for an AI insurance company that basically checks your insurance. Like you upload your reports and it will do a scan basically,
Right.
give you the best price. So this is more of a text-based logo. As you can see, check my premium, and I put like a little tick on the long version, and that was cool. So this one was more a friendly vibe. You can see some of the icons I created down the bottom, custom icons, and the web's landing page concept. So friendly, clear, simple was the key words. VEP, this was more of a high-end, clean, modern, premium vibe. This one was a strategy firm as well for a real estate, sort of like a broker, but they connect you with like the right, like real estate company when you're looking for like a house or etc.
Right.
So Valet Espose, we did a VEP. Would let a mark there. And you can see the V logo there and just like some portfolio, profile
And that
images.
and that's their brand name. Like, so they came to you with Valet S Posse, and
Yep.
then did you through that process say like an acronym like VEP because of the reasons that you were saying at the beginning? Like, is that sort of was that something that you bring to the client, or did they already have that and say we want it to be an acronym? Can you make that work?
They came to me and they wanted the acronym VEP
Yeah.
because
So they already wanted it to be
yeah, yeah,
shortened in this case. Yeah.
yeah. But sometimes I will give suggestions. Like whenever I feel like something can be more simpler
Yeah.
to avoid confusion, I'll say, hey, let's do this. Because most people don't understand. It's Valet Espose is like a Latin term. Trying to remember what it means, but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't know what it means. But that's a big problem, right? Like if your market might not know what it means, then it might have no
exactly,
meaning. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, cool. All right. I think that's it for this. So I'm gonna show you some examples of the next gen project that because that was the most recent client one I did. So we went through some mood boards here. We did 3 mood boards for them. So we did discovery phase. So they're all about like disruption and they don't want to be the typical NDIS bland brand. They want to be more fun and vibrant and stuff. So we came up with 3 of the mood boards. This was one of them. I did like a graffiti vibe, friendly, authentic. Got some imagery here, more paint strokes and more like bubbly type of font there. And so I called this one scribble paint direction. Then we had direction 2, which is connecting lines. So maybe like having this line concept because they're all about, inclusivity and connection as well, but also like fun.
And for our friends outside of Australia, NDIS is the National Disability Institution or insurance scheme.
Yep.
So, it's surrounding like differently abled people and things like that. So it's like community helping, people with different abilities.
Yep.
I just realized that we kept throwing down the acronym. So you should throw out what it means.
Yeah. Thanks, Red, for covering me on that.
Yeah, no worries.
So yeah, this one was more soft and more gradient style and like pinky yellows and stuff. So that was and we called that one connecting lines. And this one was grainy gradients. And this is the one we did pick eventually. So this one, you can see I create like this N logo example, just quick, and then like these fonts, fun fonts here, and then like a sort of a Sharpie style for the little unlimited. And I really love the rainbow colors and the circular shapes because they did mention they wanted like round circular shapes, soft, fun, friendly. So I was like, okay, that's why I did. That's why I made this decision to do
Right.
like this one. I make it vibrant and round. And then there was another one that grainy gradients, but this one, I don't think I presented this one, but it was just another one I was exploring. But it was I think two chart like youth kitty retro. I
Very
think.
illustrative approach, right?
Yeah, very illustrative.
Yeah.
So that was like, nah, it's too much. It's too much. So from there, I went and started creating some logos, and I think this one, I'll just leave that there. Um, so tone, look, and feel. So we had like emotional. These are all like the keywords: soft gradients, runner shapes, clean layout, trust, warmth, connection, real people, conversational, voice, etc., etc. Then we had like brand personality. You know, they want full of life, energy, warm, approachable. You know, forward thinking, authentic. And then they had no limitation, endless opportunity was their tagline they already had. And then I started playing around with like different fonts. Hopefully you guys can all see that and it's all good. Um, so we got different fonts I started playing around with. Next Gen Unlimited. Just trying to get a feel of like what feels right. Some other different lockups here.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that font is a bit too youthful there. Um,
Nice.
and then
But
some other
this whole thing,
ideas.
sorry, just to say, like, because we've gone through this this process with you a bunch of times on Adobe Live, and it's very much a there's no bad ideas in a brainstorm kind of thing. You just move on from one to the other, like
Hmm.
very quick. What if it was outlined? What if it was cut out? What if it was this? What if I change it to this font? And you don't really delete it and try again, do you? You kind of tend to try to move on and
Hmm.
kind of show your work, right? Like it's a
Hmm.
bit like a mind map. I see.
Yeah, 100%. It's just like just throwing ideas at the wall and just exploring. And I don't want to delete something because I might like something and come back to it. Or maybe the client doesn't
Yeah.
like the directions and like maybe go this direction. Like, okay, let's go back and see what I've done. And maybe I can just pull from that bank of ideas that I just created on the board,
Yeah.
you know?
Love it.
Um, so you never know what's going to happen, really. You can be sure and confident, hey, I have experience, but at the end of the day, like sometimes it doesn't turn out how you think. Like I could have used a lot of these ideas. I'm like, oh, this looks cool. This is fun. Or what about this? Make a smiley face, NGU acronym. I'm like, okay, but then I'm just playing around. Like maybe it fits in there. Maybe I just do NGU. So it becomes like, I don't know, like one of those university type logos.
Mm.
I'm playing with different fonts here. So you can see like they use a different font. What else? And I had some other ideas. Love, maybe I put a love heart silhouette or something in the end. Maybe I just want an end logo instead of having like the full acronym.
Mm.
So let me, okay. And then so out of those ideas, I basically presented. So this was like the first round. So logo, so recapped on the discovery phase. So the North Star positioning statement, brand essence, the values, you know, the voice, the customer, gave him like a name and everything. The mood board we chose, and then I went into the direction. So this was, we ended up, wait, no, was this version one? Yeah, sorry, this was version one. So this was like version, the first logo version. So I had this idea, put the unlimited to like, because I had the thought of like breaking barriers. I think they mentioned that or something like that, like breaking out of the, you know. So I thought like, okay, that writing that's like, has like a blend mode on it, like writing over the top to get that ID. But then I thought it might be a bit of a nightmare with printing, maybe, and also I felt like maybe it's not representing. It didn't feel right, so we ended up changing it. But I'll just quickly go through this. If I'm going too fast, just let me
Cool.
know. Just aware
Yeah,
of
no, this is
time.
great. No, this is great. It's amazing
Rank.
seeing like a whole like round one revision deck as well. Like I think as this stream is kind of aimed at beginners and people wanting a refresh, it's the
Yep.
sort of stuff that you've like really got to like to be a professional designer, really got to kind of wrap your head around and kind
Hmm.
of build and you know learn to do quickly as well. I think is one of those things you can't spend a month
Yeah.
on the deck. You kind of need to be able to
Yeah.
kind of drag and drop and do it pretty quick. So yeah, this is really great to see.
Yeah. Thanks, man. And then just some mock-ups, and then we had ID2, which is this one. Went for a blue theme, different fonts, and then the N logo, which is just a simple N.
Mm, cool.
As you can came up with some just like some headlines or things we can talk about together. We break barriers. We see the person, not the plan. Um, UI mock-up, logo. So I went with flat version instead of gradients. I created some illustration styles.
Mm,
That was with AI. I didn't. wasn't handmade, but yeah.
I was going to ask you with the mock-ups, are you still like, is it still using kind of mock-ups that you have in your library? I know you have an extensive library. Are you using any kind of
hmm
AI mock-up stuff, or are you still using like your mock-up library?
I'm using both.
Yeah.
So I'm using, yeah, a bit of Nano Banana, and then I'm using Photoshop with my, yeah, all my mockups that I've, my 1 terabyte of mockups. I'm still using those because they're just really good. And
Yeah.
sometimes like AI doesn't do what I want, so it's just faster for me just to use a mockup, to be honest. So
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
yeah, so and then so after that, I did start exploring some other ideas, as you can see here. Maybe I wanted to get this Love Heart because they really, really care about their clients. Um, so that was that. And then they didn't like the colors. So I did a whole thing of colors.
Wow. A lot of colors.
So yeah, they weren't happy about the colors. So I just like quickly just whipped up all of these. Some have gradients, some have, and they really love the vibrant, this one here
Mm.
on the bottom left. So you can see here's my artboard, just like a whole bunch of like trial and error. So yeah, and then we ended up picking one, and then um, yeah, and then eventually I ended up going with this logo here. And I put like a love heart, and they said this is perfect. They loved it.
Oh, right. Great. How good is
Yes.
that?
So we did. So I did another round after that first round, and then we ended up just sticking with this logo, nice font with the love heart in that, and then created these like guidelines here. We're using Bing and Neckar and Fig Tree for the fonts.
I was going to say, yeah, I like quite like that heading font, like that core font.
Yeah. You can get it from brandonnickerson.com. I got it from there. He has some good fonts. Pattern, we've got like voice and tone here. Logo variation. So I actually did include an acronym version, lowercase NGU, and I created like this like growth, like a little leaf thing,
Mm.
secondary logo, and then the horizontal tagline version. And then we have the stacked version that you saw before, which is the main version. Color combinations, stock photos, shapes and illustrations that I created
Cool.
with AI. I made it with this.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's cool, isn't it? I always find that interesting, the practical uses of AI stuff. Like it just very quickly, it's like, well, I'm not an illustrator, but I want to show them what it might look like, right? And then it's like,
Yeah,
okay, if you want this sort of stuff, you want to engage an illustrator who will do it a really excellent job.
exactly.
But you're
Yeah,
giving them, you're like this, but it can go here. You can show them as a mood board, right? And an illustrator will go, oh, cool, yeah, I could do that,
100%. If you
and
have the
expand
budget
on it.
for it, go for it.
Yeah, yeah,
And obviously you can create it. Like you can go to Free Pick or Inventor Elements, download some illustrations, and then customize it. That's what I do as well. I don't
mm,
just rely on AI all the time. But yeah, it just depends on the project. Like, and for me personally, I'm not a specialist in illustration. I can do it. I know how to do vector illustration. I've done it before, but it just takes too long.
yeah,
Especially when I've got multiple projects. I'm one person. Like, unless I hire outsource, it depends on the budget. Um, so I'm limited in time. I can't just sit there and draw and stuff all the, you know what I mean? So that's just the
yeah.
practicality, right? So
And presumably it wasn't part of the brief either, right? So you're just kind
yeah,
of
it was
showing
extra.
how the brand could be expanded later. Um, so yeah, but it's not, you add those add-ins in there.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Fonts, and then just like flyers and stuff here,
Yeah.
ads, Instagram ads potentially. Got the email signature, business cards. And yeah, and then that was like the guidelines.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was a bit of that process for next gen, and then yeah, and then I put it all in like Dropbox and stuff. I was working on another project as well. I can show you that. Let me go find it.
And you create all this in Illustrator, like all of
Mm-hmm.
your brand guidelines and everything.
Yeah, yeah, everything's in Illustrator.
Cool.
Let me just go this one. Yeah, I love using Illustrator. It's just fast. Here's another
Yeah.
project. So this one's for a freelancer. So not huge budget. He already had like this deck he had.
Okay.
Um,
Yep.
so this is actually a live working project, work in progress right now.
Oh,
And he
cool.
sent me some of these ideas. So it's called Nova Standard. He does videography and he wants to branch out from just like fitness into like other clients and then maybe scale it up later on. So I really like these logo ideas. And then I started playing around. And he wasn't sold on the color palette, but yeah, so I'll play around with some fonts here. I was thinking about like connecting the NS maybe. And Nova means star as well. So star light,
Mm.
got some stars, maybe like playing around with, put it in some of these nested shapes here. He really liked the, as you can see, the negative space version here. And he liked
Yeah,
the
that's
box
cool.
version. That's his like favorite. So I'm trying to stick with those ideas.
That's cool. What do they do?
It's photography and videography. So
Yeah, cool.
for clients, so it's content, like filming content. And then I think he does the editing as well, I think.
Yeah, cool.
Some early concepts here, some other ones. NS with a star, cut off that wave shape at the bottom. Then I was exploring another version where I like took like an NS letter form and then just like from a font and then I started customizing it. See,
Yeah.
get the negative space. Here's another version. I found this logo. I was like, that's pretty cool. Um, and then I was trying to bring in that arrow into the S somehow, but it started looking a bit
Yeah.
like a 9 or something, a bit weird. I don't know. It's too much.
Yeah.
Um, what else? Played around with some fonts here. And I came up with the tagline, raise the standard or your new baseline.
Mm,
Thought that was cool.
that's cool.
It was in his brand values. So I was like, yeah, we can take this.
Yeah.
Here's some more ideas. So you can see I'm iterating. Start off like an NS, like two, it was like 2 letters,
Yeah.
whatever, and then customize, put like the star, maybe outside the box, inside the box. How can I make the start looking a bit like a 9? So I'm like, okay, I gotta customize the S a bit, maybe expand the shape. Maybe the star like comes out of it, breaking the box.
Mm,
Uh, so yeah, just iterating, little small tweaks. So you can see like I'm cutting like little this out, or maybe I'm like moving things.
mm,
Um, I'm tweaking stuff on the S. I have to make it legible so that you can see the N and the S. I'm just like tweaking things as you go. And
yeah.
then I had this idea. I started to put the pieces together. Maybe the icon and the text and some colors, see if it's working. Um, and then I ended up with this, but we're still working on it. So we're about to go into round 2.
Cool.
Um,
And do you have a particular direction that you would take it from here, looking at it today? Like, I know it's live.
the first two, he preferred the first two. He likes these 2 ideas here.
Yeah, like this raising up kind of thing. It's interesting because that seemed to be quite early in your thought process. So just that whole idea of you have to do the work, you have to keep going, you have to push it, you have to
Yep.
explore lots of other ideas, but your original idea or first few might
Mm,
actually be where you end up. It's always an interesting thing when you come back to that kind of
exactly.
first or second sort of thought or early thought.
Yeah, because you could see I explored heaps of different directions, and then now I'm like, okay, he preferred this one. Back to the box ID. He really likes the box ID. It's like, okay, these 2 are inside a box. These ones are more like, and it's monogram style. This is sort of like a box, but it's too messy. He wants more clean. So these ones are really simple, right? So I'm going to stick with that. And then the color palette, he liked the navy one, I think. And yeah, I really like these fonts, it's all caps.
Really cool. I like that
Yeah,
font. Yeah, that last one was kind of cool.
yeah, it's got a nice S
What's that
and
S
like
doing? Yeah,
I don't
all
know,
over the
it's
place.
funky, man. I like
Yeah,
it.
it's cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, this is BN Danimal.
I like it. I like it a
This
lot.
one BN Church Sands, and this one's BN Binder. So yeah, Brandon Nicholson's got great fonts.
Nice.
Yeah, he does bundles. They're really really good. So yeah, that was a recent project, and yeah, is there anything else you want me to show you? I can.
I think we're just about out of time actually, because we do have another live stream starting in about 6
Cool.
minutes. So we want to make sure we
All
can
right.
get set up for that. But we do have you back, I believe. We have you back
Yeah.
tomorrow. Same
Cool.
bat channel, same bat time. So 12 o'clock until around the same time tomorrow.
Amazing.
And we're going to kind of explore the branding side of things with you, which is really exciting. So going from focusing on logos and everything like that, and then moving on to branding, which will be super cool. I'm really looking forward to it.
Amazing, man. Thanks so much. Excited. I'll see you guys
Thank
tomorrow.
you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Stick around. Jeremy Lord is going to be doing his solo stream, which is aimed at beginners getting into into illustration, or those wanting to kind of take a step into professional level of illustration and filling out their portfolio, finding their style, that kind of thing. So join Jeremy. We'll be in chat. Thanks, Dark Hours, for looking after us. Thank you, Jeremy Mura, for joining us, and we'll be back tomorrow. Bye.
See you then. Bye.